Hi, it's Krista at The Secret Yarnery. Welcome to Crochet Podcast, episode 158. Watch to the end. I forget to tell you about this, so I tell you about this at the very end, and you are going to want to know all about it, right? If you're new, my name is Krista. Thanks so much for inviting me over. Today I'm going to share with you temperature blanket update. Boom! Can't wait for it. And a finished object, and also something I need your help. I don't want to say designing, coming up with some ideas for it. Hello, phone. So all those things are coming up. You might notice some changes around here. As usual, things are always up in the air. But first, let's take care of a little business and grab a coffee. Today's coffee is from Annie Dado. Thank you so much, Annie. You are the sweetest thing. She bought me a sweet cup of coffee. It's delicious. And she said, I have it right here. Here is a mocha. She bought me a mocha iced latte to enjoy. Thanks for all your hard work with your fabulous, well thought out designs, tutorials, and real videos. Krista, love your work. Thank you so much, Annie. Means the world to me. Annie actually sent me Happy Mail a few months ago. Delicious. Smoked salt. It's all, anytime I see Annie's name, I'm like, smoked salt. So that was a joke. I walked around the house with like a glass of wine and plucking out like big flakes of smoked salt. So good. And then the joke was like, we better get mom some water. I'm like, yeah, it was so delicious. It was like salt that almost, it just tasted like bacon. Like you didn't even need to put it on anything. Not that I did it for very long, but like I was stuck on it for a good couple days. So good. Now I have it sequestered. It is safe. And if you ever get a chance or ever see smoked sea salt, definitely try it. Find the flavor you love the best. Apparently there's a bunch of different flavors. I was Googling it. It is a rabbit hole. Get on it. It's so good. Anyway, Annie, thank you so much for the coffee. And if you want to buy me a coffee, maybe I'll shout you out in the next video. Now on with finished objects. Are you noticing anything? Was that too subliminal? These are my favorite. This is actually my favorite one. I use it all the time. I love the color. I love the yarn. It is Softly Baby, but of course it could be cotton or anything that you have on hand. I just loved this color. So they are mug cozies, but you do not need any fancy way of attaching it. See that? You just loop your chains around the handle when you're done, like to start and to finish. Let me get it off. There you go. So it just loops over. Boom and boom. And this works for these tapered mugs, the kind that I like a lot. It also works just the same for the round mugs. I thought I'd have to like change the starting chain or something. You don't. It works out perfect. Plus, it's how simple is that? It's so simple. And it looks like you really tried. Didn't. They are so quick to work up. So these are they also look like face masks. Totally. So I started these little cuties. I got to show you how it started with scraps because I didn't think it was going to work out. So I had some pink yarn sitting around as a ball, like a wound up remnant of yarn. So I grabbed it and it worked out. I was like, what? So then I made a couple yellow ones because for me in the mornings, I have a yellow coffee cup. I have 2 yellow coffee cups. Used to have 3, 1 broke. I have 2 yellow coffee cups, but now yellow to me says coffee. So if I see a yellow mug, I'm like, oh, look, there's my coffee. Plus in the morning, I'm always running around, getting the kids ready, doing this and that and everything. And I always lose my cup of coffee. So if it's bright yellow, there's a chance I can find it, like just scan the room for yellow. And it's like, okay, there it is. There it is. I got it. So I made yellow mug cozies for the morning, but then I thought that's not very pretty for a thumbnail. Do you know what I mean? To be like, hey, make a mug cozy. Because I might be the only one who loves bright yellow mug cozies with a sample pink. I mean, imagine, it's not that pretty. So, you got to wait for it. I got to arrange it. It has to be arranged. It's so pretty. And a couple of them are the wrong way around. Awesome. Beautiful. So then I went on a little bender. I think it was a Sunday afternoon, and I made, ready for it? Those colors. Isn't that so pretty? All of those are just gorgeous. So like an ivory, an oatmeal, a darker oatmeal. I don't know what that one is. Or maybe it's amaranth and then oatmeal. Could we do that? I don't know what this one's called. They call it water green. I'm like, that is not water green at all, but I love it. What color is this? Tell me. It is not gray, by the way. It looks a bit gray. It's not gray. And then, of course, my baby turquoise. So all those colors, I'm like, now that's pretty. And then I use this one all the time. Maybe because it's on top, because they're all so pretty. So that's my little cute stack. But these would be amazing to gift, to sell for the holidays, for craft fairs. They're really quick. I forget how much. It's in the tutorial. I'll link the tutorial and the pattern down below. But I think it's like 11 grams of yarn. Not much. So a great stash buster. And really, like, they just work up so fast and they're so practical. And you don't have to put a button or any sort of buttonhole or any sort of like complication. Not complicated. Super easy. So those are some finished objects I got right there. That's a cute stack, actually. Cute stack. So that's a finished object I made. Now I wrote them down because it's been a while since we did a podcast. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh, the Beached Granny wrap. You are going to freak out for it. If you might have already seen it. Where are you, sweetie? I basically wear it all the time. It's like, no, it's part of my outfit. Oh my gosh, it's going to match this dress too. It matches everything. Okay, hold on. It is made with Cakes Cotton Royale. And it is a Beached Granny wrap with a nice tight top edge. So it doesn't like, it's not going to like ruffle at the top. Okay, ready? Check it out. Couldn't help but do the swirl. Isn't that amazing? So I love it. It matches everything. Jeans, brown dresses, turquoise dresses, blue dresses. I also have this yarn in 2 other colorways. You probably saw that in the unboxing. It's fantastic. It is such a dreamy, great yarn. I used a 4.5 millimeter hook, and this yarn, I'm telling you, it's everything. I did not color control anything at all because I didn't want it to look, let me show you. I didn't want it to look perfectly striped. Do you know what I mean? I wanted it to look a bit random, a bit barcodey, you know? It's so pretty. And then, of course, we did that tightening at the top. So we have something to like hold on to without feeling like your whole wrap is going to, you know, just kind of float away in like a ruffly edge. So I love it. It's nice and heavy. Love it. 500 grams, not that heavy. I used 500 grams of yarn or 5 of those cakes and a 4.5 millimeter hook. Already told you that, but here, listen. Can you hear that? So squishy. So I love that one. That is a finished object. Let's see how many more finished objects I have. Oh, I do have quite a few. Okay, next. This is a funny one. So I have my good old rubber boots, and they're kind of like war rubber boots. Like, they're not pretty. There's nothing fancy about them. Oh, did I do a single crochet row? What did I even do there? I don't even know. Anyway, it was raining one morning when we were going to an outdoor craft fair, like an artisan fair kind of thing. Crafts is a bit below what it is. They're actual businesses that are selling things. Not that crafts are below, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely elevated. Like there's nothing, it's just really, yeah, it's unobtainable price point for a craftsperson to attend. It's definitely businesses, handmade designs, designers. I don't want to say bougie, but you know, it's like an elevated craft fair for people that have a business making fancy things from wood, from textiles, from whatever they're doing. It was raining and I knew I had to wear rubber boots. So I didn't want to wear like stompy rubber boots, but I did want to wear stompy. Now I have a delicate kind of pair here, like a leopard print, like much more cutesy, but I wanted to wear my industrial ones, but I wanted to cutify them a bit. So, and this was like 40 minutes before I had to leave the house. Like I'm in my pajamas in bed and I'm like, I need boot cuffs. So I grabbed some random yarn, this gray, because I didn't want to waste any yarn that was really good. So this is just boring Kenyan acrylic in boring gray because I'm like, it'll match anything. Halfway through, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should make it to match the flower, granny square flower poncho. It has those little flowers around the neck. You could do little flowers around the bottom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to. And I'm like, you do not have time. Finish the boot cuffs. So I made 2 boot cuffs. I thought they were the same. I mean, I wore them. They're great. But upon looking at them, I think I did an extra row on this one here. See? That's an extra row, I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did an extra row. So I could have been even faster if I was counting properly. So how I did these, I just flipped them over the top of my rubber boots. Just normal rubber boots. I flip it over the top so it's a little skinnier on the inside and a little bigger on the outside. And then it just kind of sits at the top of my boots. So I don't make them to like fit on my leg because, you know, I don't live in a cold climate like that. But they make your boots look super cute, or at least cuter. And this is just double crochet. Like I literally just hurrying, trying to see if I could get anything that worked. But now it has me on a boot cuff bender, or a wannabe boot cuff bender. I want to make more. And I kind of want to make them like that. Wouldn't that be cute on the top? So not boring double crochet, like spend a little more time doing it, or not actually. This is into the stitches. This is into spaces. This might even be faster. Looks fancier. Looks textured. Well, it is textured a little bit. So I want to do this to match, like I want to make boot cuffs to match everything. Not that I get to wear rubber boots very often, but they're so cute. Which gets me to why I was wearing rubber boots. We had some mad floods. Did y'all hear about the mad floods? Mad floods. There's still some houses in my neighborhood, like with boats, like they're still underwater. Apparently, and I've lived in my neighborhood for 23 years. It has never happened. I've never seen it. I haven't spoken to anybody who has seen it happening before. It is like unprecedented amount of rain. We got like 12 inches overnight. Like in 8 hours, we got 12 inches of rain, which is a lot if you're in the centimeters. Like it's a lot of rain. That was in one night, and it rained for like 3 days. So there's some houses, I guess, in the valleys that are underwater completely. Like the people are rowing their boats, like to get just to see how bad it is. And they're like, look down into a window, like, oh, that's the kitchen down there. Like, hot mess. I was talking to one of my friends this morning, and his house, or near his house, there are 6 acres of houses underwater. Like in my neighborhood, a little farther from my neighborhood, but still my neighborhood, by yarn snob's neighborhood, like within a couple blocks of her house. She's fine also, but yeah, crazy Tom. So a lot of water action, and here is a little bit what it looked like around my yard. That was crazy, right? So nuts. So it's all dried out here. There's still some mud out front of my gate that is still, no matter how much you scoop, every time it rains, there's more of it. I don't know where it's coming from. But while it was a bit chilly those days, or at least it wasn't actually that chilly, it got kind of warm. But while it was around that time, there was a couple days where it was like 21, 22, 23 degrees. So guess what I did? That is right. I grabbed the temperature blanket. We had date days. I had to actually, let me show you. I had to like get the pattern out and be like, what hook was I using? How do I start the row? How do I end the row? Yeah. Okay, I better stand up to show you because it's a little bit big. Pretty cool, right? So that is 365 rows of moss stitch. The high temperature recorded for the day in Nairobi, one different color per degree. So for every degree, I have a different yarn color because we have a pretty stable temperature here. So every color is a different temperature. So it is done. Now, my problem, issue, pondering, the tassels. No, I'm not sewing them in. I don't like how it finishes. I find it feels fat and chunky and like thick on the edges, and I don't like it. I do want tassels of some sort. So I was thinking, well, I have a couple problems you can help me with. Let me know your opinions. I was thinking we could do, let me see that, right? Some braids. We could braid them a little bit so it would match. So hard to show you, isn't it? Did you get to see it? Yeah. Problem with this, it's a little bit like stiff, right? Because they're braids. And it takes a lot of time and it's a little bit boring. Do you know what I mean? It's a little boring. Now, I could do a braid for each and every strand, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like 700 and something braids. Like, when am I going to feed my children? Oh my gosh, that's going to take so long. So that's out of the question. And then I think I'm just going to do tassels because they stay squishy and they're softer and they have that nice flow to them. But now here's my other question for you. Let me find a decent example. There we go. I cut my tassels super long because I knew, well, Softly Baby phrase, that's just how it is. And some of these yarns to get the colors that I wanted to use are Softly Baby. So you can see the fraying there. See the fuzzy ones? That's Softly Baby. There's like a light turquoise. There is a cantaloupe orange. See all those frayed ones? Those are Softly Baby. So I cut my tassels extra long so that when, or my ends extra long, so that when I'm making the tassels, there's enough to still cut off all whatever has frayed. Then I think maybe they need a little dab of like Stop Fray or whatever it is. You know, that liquid, I think people use it for sewing or whatever, but put a little dab of that on the ends so that they don't fray. Another good idea somebody had, one of you lovely people, was to single crochet the ends, which I did try. Where did I try that? But I didn't cut them long enough for that. So next time, where are you at? I'm trying to see where it is. Oh no, it's not here. Maybe I undid it because it was too short. But then anyway, the tassel is about that long, if I like just chain it, dook, 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 dook. But I could use a smaller hook and do dook, 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 and then just sew that one tail back up into the chain. Now, if I was doing a temperature blanket again, I might think about doing that, like leaving really long tassels and chaining them and just sewing that tail back up with a sharp tip needle. Easy peasy. And it would have that nice kind of flow, kind of jiggle, kind of looseness. Let me get a little baby needle. What do I have? I have a 4. No, wait. I have a 3.5 or a 375. 375. Let's just see. I'll pick a random one. Oh, see, I think it's going to be just too short. But it was going to be such a cute idea. How do I even do it? I don't even know how to do it. I had it done before. Now what do I do? Maybe I still have to tie it a little bit. Oh, and then I can go into the blanket. All right, hold on. And then chain from there. Okay. Yeah, see how short it is? So sad. Because that would be really cute. You know what I mean? If it was longer. I would totally do that if it was longer. So not today. So my choice is braiding, not chaining because it's too short, or tassels. I think I have to do tassels, but now the weather's warm again. It's like 25, 26. What is it actually? Let me check. Ah! It's only 24. 24. 23.5 actually, or 74. I'm not doing tassels. Let me just tell you that. So, let me check the time. 24 minutes. All right. So that is still a whip that I'm working on. When it's on a pause. It's on a pause game. It's like date night, not date night. You got to wait for date night again. We're not on date night. That's Mabel freaking out. Let's see what else. If you'd like a discount on my patterns or some tips and tricks, consider joining my newsletter. There is a ton of great information coming out on that. I spent the last couple weeks working on it. Super excited to share. And at the end of that, I think by June, July-ish, we are starting something super fun. So I hope you are a part of it. On the newsletter, that's where it's going to be happening. So I'll also link that subscribe or join button in the description box down below. And we didn't talk about the blanket ladder, right? Blanket ladder. Ding, 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 ding. Got the blanket ladder. There it is. It's so great. So I ordered it in November. It finally got here. Was it December? I ordered it in December. It finally got here. No, it was November. Anyway, I ordered it a long time ago. I finally have it. Now, I had all of my bed runners on it. So it was like from the side angle, they were all even kind of at the bottom, like the longest one at the tallest rung and the shortest one folded on the shortest rung. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to make rainbow blankets for that. And I'm like, do you have to make rainbow blankets? Do you not have rainbow blankets? Can you not look through your own blankets and find the rainbow ones? Put the rainbow blankets on there and like calm down, right? Like bring it down a notch. So I put my rainbow blankets on there from the lavender all the way up to, the hot pinks. But now on the side, they don't go all the way down. It doesn't match at the bottom. So I still think I have to express my OCD and make rainbow blankets to match. So starting with the hot pink and then the orange and then the yellow, the green, the turquoise, the blue, the purple. I can make 6, I think. So pick my 6 best colors, grab some yarn from the Yarnscape and start making some fabulous blankets, quick, easy, new tutorials. I don't know, but that is something I really want to do because I want it to look great this way, and I also want it to look great walking past it. Do you know what I mean? I'll show you. Isn't that going to be amazing? Anyway, let me know if I should calm down or if I should do it. And if you have any suggestions or blanket stitches you'd like a tutorial for, let me know, because I think I have 6 blankets up and open that I want to get done so that looks fabulous no matter how you look at it. This bad boy, this is the first yarn I had to use from, look at it. I had to use it. It's from my latest ice yarn haul. This is Puzzle Wool Chunky. It comes in a bunch of colors. It's amazing. It works out to about $4 per 100 grams, but it's 200 gram balls, so like $8 something, delivered to your door in the US. So if you live in a different country, it's different. But look at that. It's amazing. So this sweater takes 1 day to do. If you've been crocheting for a while. If you are brand new to crochet, you could skip my fancy stitches and just do double crochet if you felt like it. Or you could take 2 days to do it. It's literally just a couple pieces, you stitch them together, you edge it, you're done. I walk you through it step by step, both right-handed and left-handed, row by row, timestamps, chapters, the works. Look at that. Isn't that so cute for like summer? So this obviously has wool in it. It's getting to be winter for me. But for you, you could make it in any yarn that you liked. Check it out. You could button it if you felt like it. You could leave it open. I love it. I love it. Do you see that little detail there? My little fanciness? I got all fancy on you. Cute corners. And the corners I'd also like to point out. Small holes. You see that? Not the usual big gaping holes. We do a little trick to keep the holes nice and small. Look at that. Isn't it the cutest thing? So this tutorial is coming out. Well, this is the next video. So keep your eye out for it and start looking for some yarn. You got to make it. It's so quick and easy. Okay, now I'm ready. Now that was all. Stay hooked.